Good afternoon, YouTubers, and welcome back to Big Beard RC. In this video, I'm going to show you quickly how to put new oil in your shocks. And these are off of Wltoys 144001, and they're quite rubbish, really, out of the box. This one I was playing with before, as you can see. That is standard out of the box. This is ones with some factory team 50 weight oil in. But I'm going to redo them all for you while you watch. It's quite simple, really. I probably won't do all four because it's just repetitive. So let's start with this one. This is just a piece of wood that I've drilled some holes in to keep them up while the air bubbles dissipate, and it keeps them straight without spilling the oil, because sometimes, you know, we all have accidents. So I use a little bit of kitchen roll and an old tub for the oil that's coming out of these. So remove these out of the way. What I do is I pull the spring back, remove the spring holder, pop that to one side, remove the standard springs. Now I have got upgraded springs coming from LC Racing EMB. Red spot 1.3mm for the front, yellow spot 1.2mm for the rear. Now some of these, when they come standard, are quite loose at the bottom. It's just a threaded nut, so I always get a good grip, give them a good squeeze, make sure they're tight, because they have a habit of leaking at the bottom there where the piston comes out. Now if you unscrew the top, as so, then it should come out. And these are a bladder type shock. In there is a bladder, so I'll pop that face up so that the excess oil runs out. Now as you can see, there is not a lot of oil coming out of them for oil filled shocks. Pump the piston a few times, make sure everything's out. Now it won't sit flat, so if you just pull it back slightly so that the top recesses, the top of the piston, I should say, recesses the top of the suspension, you can then place it down and it'll stand up shot. What I'll show you now is the difference between the amount of oil that is in a shock that's been filled and the amount of oil that's in a shock that comes from Wltoys. So same procedure, pull the spring back, remove the shock spring carrier, remove the spring, make sure the bottom's tightened, flip it over, unscrew the top, face down. Now if you see the difference in the amount of oil, it's night and day difference. There's a lot of oil missing from the factory. Some people have said that there's are overfilled. I've had 2 cars now, so that's 8 shocks off the cars, and I've had 2 sets of the black upgraded shocks. Now there's no difference, they're just black instead of the standard red that's fitted to the Wltoys red or green car. They're identical, there's no difference. I've had these apart, I've took the pistons out, I've checked the seals, everything is identical, there's no different. They call them upgraded, they're not. All that's upgraded is the colour, so think what you will, because if you buy the red upgraded shocks, it's no different other than on the standard ones it's a red top and a red screw there. The rest is silver. On the upgraded ones that they sell, this bit's red. with the red top and the red bottom, so it looks slightly better. There is no difference other than colour, so make your own mind up. I personally wouldn't buy the red ones because I don't like the look of them. I got these because they came in a good deal. Now I'll just pop this to one side, get my new oil, and what I do is I pull the piston all the way out, pull the top off, try to get it as close as possible to reduce air bubbles getting in. Now I fill just up to the line, then I push the piston about halfway, so the oil is just bulging over the top. Now I get the lid and carefully screw on. Now you'll notice in yourselves, you probably won't see on the video, but as you screw it in, the excess oil pushes itself out, comes down the side. It's just a case of drying off the oil, making sure you've got rid of all the excess, because it'll only pick up dirt and it'll stay on there, and you won't know if your shock's leaking because it'll be full of oil. Now pull it out, push it back in, out, in, and as you'll see from the videos I've watched, I'm no RC expert or suspension expert. I've replaced suspension on motorbikes and cars, but pull it out, push it in. As you get in, it should bounce out. Not all the way, not go, because that would be too much, but as you push it in, it should pop out a percentage. Then spring back on, reduce the spring, carrier back on, make sure the spring's seated nicely, and then you'll be able to see, clumsy hands, that they now react a lot smoother, a lot more resistance in them, so you're going to get better compression, better reaction. Going over different grounds, it's going to be a lot more responsive, giving you better grip, better overall traction to the car, hankering it down rather than, as you can see with this one, that is all or nothing. There is nothing, it's all or nothing. So that is just too soft. Now that is how you want it, nice and smooth, less chance of bottoming out. The more you adjust it, the harder that's gonna reset itself. But that's it, that's one done. I'll do another one on the video. So I pull them all the way out, as close as possible to reduce air bubbles. Now if you do get air bubbles, you can leave the suspension on your mount, as so, but over a few hours the air bubbles will come to top, pop, come to top, pop. I don't know if you could see that in the video, but one just came at them. Now I know that's crystal clear, I can see in it, it's crystal clear, so I'm not too bothered, and I'm not racing this, I'm just aiming for top speed runs, and I want it to be quite hard to keep it hunkered down to the road. Same again, push it up halfway, get your cap with the diaphragm or bladder as some people call it, screw it home, tighten it up, pull your piston out, couple of pumps to make sure that everything's good inside, and you will get the same reaction as it pops out. That's what you want. The same, you know, it won't pop, it won't fire off and pop itself out. That'd be wrong, because it'd just be too hard. It just wouldn't retract itself. So you want it to go in, pop out, go in, pop out, and that's what they all do if you do them correctly. Now, people might mention in the comment that I'm wrong, but this is how I've seen it being done. This is how it works for me. I've tried it half filling, I've tried it 2 mil below the level, I've tried it different ways, which means about, but this is the one that works for me. Now, that's 2 done. It's a quick and easy job. You can put them in your carrier. As you can see, they reduce. I know this one looks like it comes up quicker, but it doesn't. What's the difference is this spring is more compressed on the right hand side one because of it's for the rear and this one was for the front. So if you spin out the adjuster to the same distance, they will retract at the same speed. It's just obviously because they're a different level. Now that's come down near as down, that is pushed into this a lot lower, but there you have it. That's the factory. That's nicely filled. I'm not going to show you a video of how to fit these, but I will show you quickly the difference when fitted. So this is my new speed run, and hopefully you can see this. That is the suspension on the car. It is naff. So rather than show you how to fit these, I'm going to go away, clip my fingers. When you come back, no, not the front, sorry, the backs will be black, and the black. So let's see. Front, very flimsy, wallowy, not very good, very blasé. The backs now, how smooth these move, nice and smooth, no harsh reactions, no banging as if you see that one. Very harsh. Back is a lot better by far. So when it's hunkered down like this through the adjuster screws, you're going to get a nice reaction rather than really bouncy. You know, it's going to be quite plush. So as it's hunkered down, you're going to get a nice bounce rather than quite a harsh bounce. So that's a quick video of how to upgrade the shock oil. They will be a lot better with the heavier springs in the front because it'll take more of the absorption. The springs aren't great. In my basher build, I've got heavily upgraded springs. They're a lot different, and with the 50 weight oil and the springs, they do make a dramatic difference. Now they're not LC Racing springs that are on them. They're off a chap on eBay that sells upgraded springs. I think they're £15 for all 4, which in consideration is not too much because the LC Racing ones can be quite expensive depending upon where you can get them from. If they've got them in stock, and import taxes and everything else can be quite high. So I didn't think that was too bad, and the quality springs are really good, and they really do make a difference. You might see in some of my other videos a close up, you might be able to see as they're quite tighter coiled, so they're a lot more able to absorb more shocks and bangs They are really good. So check them out on eBay. I think if you search the Wltoys 144001 springs or shock springs or something like that, they come up. I'd recommend them because I've got them on my other car. I won't be putting them on this because I want more specific springs for speed running and more reliability from them. I'm not saying that they're not reliable, it's just that I know other people are running who've done the 100 mph, you know, Birmingham GTRC, and some other people are running them on their 100 mph cars, so they've got to be doing something right if they're running them on them cars. So this isn't going to be a direct launch, it's going to be my representation of what I want from this car. Yeah, so thanks for watching. If you like what you see, like and subscribe, hit the bell button, and you all have a pleasant day.